That beat going crazy.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Back on the SV650s Suzuki, and yeah, we're just going to be doing a couple of bits on this. So last week Saturday I did a bit of work on the bike. I had a friend who wanted to spend some time with me working on the bike, so me and him just sort of done a few bits together. I didn't do any filming. It was a bit difficult to film with both of us sort of here. We just sort of finished up the loose ends that I worked on the previous weekend. So we basically just planned to we put the cars back on, which you guys have seen me do already. Pretty much stuff I've done in probably the second video. We just sort of assembled the clutch cable, the throttle cable, stuff like that. We got it basically running again. We put the exhaust back on. I still got one exhaust stud that I need to drill out and tap or whatever. But we put the exhaust on just to sort of get the bike working again, make sure it was running. So we've done that. I've got a couple of bits I want to do today. I received the chain, sprocket, stuff like that. I've also got some indicators as well. I did go for some aftermarket sequential indicators. I think they're called, the ones that sort of go sort of left to right, sort of like the Night Rider sort of car. But I didn't realize I needed some sort of resistors for those. So I have ordered those resistors and they should be coming today. So hopefully it will come while I'm working on the bike. If they don't come in time, then they'll have to go in the next video. I'll show you them anyway. And I think there's a couple of other bits I need to go through in the box. I'm going to start putting the fairings back on as well, because I want to sort of get the bike fully assembled. And then I'll look at stripping the fairings and then repainting them. There's not a lot of fairings on this bike anyway. So but yeah, let's get straight into it. All right guys, so this is where we are with the bike. You guys remember the last video, we did put the headlamps on, we got them all working, we changed bulbs and stuff like that. Oh, that was the other thing as well. I got the OEM engine bolts. I think this one, which is too long, because this was part of the protective sort of impact protection bar system, whatever you call it. So these weren't aftermarket, so they're too long now that I've taken them off. They're too long, so I ordered a set of aftermarket bolts. I think it's one for here and maybe that one and that one. I don't really need these two, but it came in a second-hand one, so I think I only need to change this one, and then I think I need one bolt for the other side. So we'll try and get that one today as well, and then we'll torque up these bolts. I haven't torqued up all the engine bolts yet. I'll torque them up today. We'll see if we can get this sprocket off and replace it, because I've got a new sprocket here, and I've also, although this sprocket's in really good condition, but I'll just change it. It comes as a set. Got a front one, I've got a new rear one, I've got a new chain, gold chain as well, so that will get the bike back running again. We've got to put the rear sets back on, so that's the, you know, gear change lever. The rear brake ones, I need to rebuild the rear brakes, so we'll probably have a look at that today as well. The engine's looking good, as you guys can see. It's all been painted. It's looking good. We need to put the horn on as well. That was one thing we didn't get to put on the last time I was on it. Other than that, the bike is pretty much done. So I'll show you guys these indicators I was telling you about. So this is what they look like. So they've got a little plastic on them, but these are the sequential. So they sort of move left to right, like sort of like that when they're blinking. At the moment, when I connect them, they just blink, and only the first two bars blink, and I believe that's because of the resistance, changing the resistance. The relay's just not really keeping up with it. I might have to change the relay as well, so I'll find out when I put those in. If it doesn't work, we might need to look into replacing the relay with a relay more designed for these LED lights, so we'll see. But that's those anyway. Actually, I've actually got one on the front connected, so I'll show you what that looks like when it's blinking. So you can see the rear one is blinking fast because the front one is an LED one. If I put the OEM one, it would blink properly, so you guys can see it here. This is what it looks like now. So it's just the first two down here that are blinking, and it should be blinking all the way across. Even if the whole thing blinked, I wouldn't mind, but obviously it's blinking too fast, so there's a loose connection here. I wouldn't really mind, but I do like the look of these. They make a change from these huge, big old chunky things. If you look at them side by side, see the difference in size of these things. Yeah, so it just gives it a little bit more of a modern touch on the bike, and it's something you can easily change back if you want. Exhaust is on, as I said. I've got one more bolt here to put on, which we didn't get to do, so I'll do that today as well. But otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much it. So I haven't started the bike up since the last week, so we're going to try and give it a start now. Bike is on. Let's put the choke on and let's start it up. Bike is running good. You probably leave the choke on for a little bit longer, but yeah, this is sort of it. Or maybe a little bit more revs on it. Yeah, that's good. I think I need to adjust the idle just a little bit, which is here. Yeah guys, that is it. The engine is running sweet, starts up nicely, it's running good. As I said, it's only last time I started this up, so I'm very happy with that to move on. So probably the first job I'm going to get on with is see if we can get these all sprockets off. I am going to have to take the back wheel off, so I'm going to have to somehow jack the back of it. I might just use some straps on here, and I normally strap it to the rafters on the roof and use a ratchet strap and just jack this up a little bit. Then I can pull the wheel off and get to replace that sprocket. There's our sprockets. So we've got the rear sprocket, we've got a front sprocket here, and then we've got a gold chain, X-Ring gold chain 525 BX3. So hopefully this is the right one. So yeah, let's get it together. So I've got the chain on, and this is where the link is. You guys can see it here. This is the link. So there's the 2 rubber seals at the back, so I've greased it. I've also put the 2 on the front that came in the kit, so there's 4 of them. And then this bit here is going to go on like that, and then I'm going to have to clamp it using this tool. It's going to go in like that. So I need to take this apart, slip this part, slip that part behind the chain, and then I need to tighten this up. And what that does is, I'll show you one of these. Got to do them one at a time, and I do a bit at a time as well. Sorry. This thing here is got to press onto these and basically flatten them down like that and sort of mushroom them here and here, and that will sort of close it just like all the other ones. I might see a bit better up here. So these are being mushroomed out basically, so we just got to keep tightening it and keep checking them. Tighten this one up a bit and tighten that one up, and just keep moving it and just keep tightening them up. But yeah, otherwise that is the chain in, so I'm going to try and do that now. Sorry, I haven't got my tripod today guys. I left it on site, so this is why I'm not being able to show a lot of the stuff as I'm doing it, but I'll try my best. So I've got a quick update. So guys, I've been torquing up these bolts. I torqued this one up, I torqued this one up, torqued this one out, I've torqued this one out, I've torqued this one out. There's just 2 on the other side that I'm missing because of, again, the bracket changes. So I need to get some replacement shorter bolts to replace those. But the chain is in, as you guys can see. It's looking good. I've checked according to the manual, the spacing or the give, the flexibility, etc., whatever you call it. I've done that. Also done the rivets as well. Let's see if the chain, if it'll turn. Oh no, dropped it down again, so I can't turn the wheel. But I've checked everything, nothing's binding, everything seems to be turning nice. Sprocket looks good, chain looks good. So yeah, happy with that. So I think next to do, so I think what's next to do is to get the rear set on here. I'm going to reroute this cable. This is just hanging here. I need to route it in the right place. So I'm going to check on the manual. This is for the kickstand. So I'm going to make sure this obviously isn't binding on the chain. So I'll reroute that correctly. And then I'm going to put this rear set on. Then we can get the gear lever on. And then I think next we'll put on the rear seat fairings. And I think we're pretty much ready to start this thing and maybe even take it for a little test run. All right, guys, so some good progress. I'm gonna give you guys a quick update. So it seems that the parts that I'm waiting for the indicators are not gonna arrive until later, after 5 o'clock, and I've got to shoot off. So unfortunately I have to do that another time, which means I can't get those fairings on because I need to do the wiring inside there and all that jazz. So I'm going to show you guys what I've done anyway. I've got the chain on, bike is running, and let me just show you in action. So I've got the bike off the ground on a jack just so that the rear wheel is off the ground. Let's start it up. Back in neutral. There we go, back in neutral. So yeah, I put the rear set on, put the cover on, routed the cable in the correct place, put the rear set on to the right place, adjusted everything, gears are changing nicely. So that is pretty much the bike done now mechanically. So next thing we'll do is to get fairings on, as I said. We're gonna have to take these off and install the new ones in. Actually, I just realized I can actually install these on here, so we're going to try and have a go and see if I can get these new ones installed on here. Why not? Let's have a go. So I fitted one of them, and I've got one of the old ones, one of the new ones side by side. What do you guys think? Obviously we need to sort out this blinking issue, so hopefully that will work when I get these inline resistors. What would you guys think so far? This one was broken, so this one needed to be changed. This is why I decided to just get something different. But I think it looks good. Let me know what you guys think. So here we go. New indicators. I think they look good. Alright guys, so there we are. This is where I'm stopping for today. What I did is I've just put this rear fairing on. It's just a couple of bolts. Put the seat on as well. This is some sort of grab bar at the back for the passenger, I guess, on the back of it, for pulling the bike around. So yeah, got the lock here, connected up the lock that opens this up. I'm just charging the battery because I had let it go flat the other day by accident, so I'm just letting it charge up. But yeah, as you guys can see, the bike is coming together. It's looking good. It's starting to look like a bike. So once that battery's charged up, I'm going to put that front draw rider seat on. And next we've got to do is put the radiators on. Once I put the radiator system back on, then I can take this thing for a quick test drive, and pretty much nearly there. So I think one of the wing mirrors came without a glass, so I need to order a wing mirror. I think it's the left one, wing mirror and a petrol tank. So I'm on the lookout for a petrol tank at the moment, so hopefully I'll get one soon, next week or so. And this shouldn't be too difficult to get. I'll get this sorted out as well. And once we get the front indicators on, and get the last back brakes on, bleed the system for the brakes. I think this bike is going to be pretty much done, and I'm going to try and get it off to the MOT. I've decided I'm going to get it up to an MOT as quick as I can, because I do want to get a little ride out on this bike, and then once I get it MOT, then I'll turn my attention to getting the fairings probably repainted. So I'm not sure, should I go for this original color or should I do something different with the fairings? I'm not really sure. You know, I don't mind going a bit different on this bike, really. So let me know what you guys think. But otherwise, yeah, bike is looking good. Alright guys, so yeah, I went out for a little ride and I came back, and my indicator, what do you call these, inline fuses, or inline, what they call again, resistors, arrived. So I've been playing around with it. I can't seem to get it working. I had some sort of movement where I had just about half of it sort of moving sequentially, but not all the way down. So I need some help on this. I'm going to do some research on this, but they do work because I've connected them straight to the battery, and I'll show you what happens when I connect them directly to a battery, 12 volts. So I'm not sure whether or not I need to get a different relay for this, or the relay's got to be bypassed somehow. I'm going to show you what I mean, and you tell me if you can help me with this one. All right guys, so here's the lights. Obviously they've connected, so here's the wires for the lights, and this is where they've been sort of spliced in to the original. Obviously I had to cut that because I didn't have the fitments are different. So this is the neutral or the negative or whatever, and this is the live signal that goes to the light. This extra cable here, it goes to the alarm. That's basically when you switch the alarm on, it sends a signal to these and flashes. So I connected both of them and it's doing the same thing. It's just flashing. There's no manuals came with these resistors. I'll show you the resistors here. So they're 21 watts, 6 ohms, right? And I had to use my multimeter to figure out what's going on, because there's 2 wires on either side. Now it's just, I think it's just, they just literally split the cable here. So these 2 are basically the same thing. So I guess it allows you, if you want to connect another one in parallel to it, you can do that. And that's the other side. So here's one side. Here's one side of the resistor. Here's the other side. So obviously, I had a quick look online, and most people saying you need to connect these in parallel. So connecting that parallel would mean one would go on here, and the other one would go on here. So I'm doing that, and I'm still not getting any joy with this. So, but they do work, and what it seems is that all the circuitry in here does all the work. So as long as they get 12 volts, they will do what they need to do. Obviously the relay is switching that 12 volts on and off, and not giving it enough time to do the movement, if that makes sense. So as soon as it switches on, it gets to about 4 lights, then obviously it switches off, so it goes back off again, and then it switches again, and it goes to about 4, and then it switches off and it goes again. So it's not getting a chance to sort of go up and down, up and down. So it seems like it just needs to have a constant 12 volts on it for it to do what it needs to do. I'll show you guys what it looks like when it is connected to, or directly to, a battery. Let's see if I can do this for you. Alright guys, so you can see I've connected it directly to the battery. See if you guys can see it. It is quite bright, so, but you can see it goes across and it keeps going across like that. So that's when it's powered just straight with 12 volts. It's doing what it needs to do. So I'm assuming that somehow the relay needs to be bypassed. So when you flick the indicator, it will just get 12 volts to the light, and the 12 volts will allow it to do that. And then when you cancel it, then it will go off. So I'm sure I can figure out doing that, but I would probably have to bypass the relay somehow. The only thing is, if I do that, I'm assuming I'm not going to get the flicking on the dash, which you normally get here. So you know, you can see it pulsing here. I'm assuming that will just come on and stay on, because the relay is doing that as well. So maybe there'll be a way for me to get the relay to pulse on here, but the 12-volt signal to go straight to that. Maybe I might have to run a new cable or something, I'm not sure. I can probably figure out a bodge like that, but I would like to make sure that I'm doing it the right way. So if somebody has any idea, please let me know what's the best way to do this. So guys, that is it. I'm going to leave the video there. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I did my best to show you guys the process as I was going along. And but yeah, we're moving along. We're going to get there soon with this bike. So hopefully I can get this indicator thing sorted out, and then the rear brakes, and we're nearly there, guys. So until the next video, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and see you soon. Take care. Going crazy.